Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tabang George Mufukeng, and I'm the current interim president of the Unisa Student Business Council. I'd first like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished members watching at their respective homes, and also welcome our amazing panelists that have decided to join us today. Before we start, I'd like to also thank some of our sponsors and supporters, starting off with the Directorate of Innovation Tech Transfer Office at the University of South Africa, and also thank our second sponsor, which is Area Dev. Area Dev is a technology company that specializes in web and app development. And last but not least, I'd like to thank our third sponsor, which is TutorVault. TutorVault is a tutoring company that offers tutoring solutions for Unisa students at an affordable price. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day where we acknowledge and celebrate a very special breed of human beings. The kind that resilience, determination, and bravery is a norm for. Today, we celebrate female entrepreneurs and innovators at the University of South Africa that are also students at our university. Before I go far, I'd first like to share a couple of challenges that our female entrepreneurs and innovators face on a daily basis. According to research, women are still in the minority when it comes to the South African entrepreneurial and innovation landscape. And more than half of South Africa's population is female, and yet only 34% of SMMEs are women-led. Female entrepreneurs face challenges that are unique to them. And these challenges include a lack of capital and assets, lack of business-orientated networks within their respective communities, a lower status in society, high levels of domestic responsibility, cultural-induced lack of assertiveness and confidence in their abilities to succeed as business people. And it is because of this that we, as the Unisa Student Business Council, feel a strong sense of responsibility to promote the brave young women that have decided to embark on such a tough journey. And with that said, I can then officially declare the start of this event and call upon our amazing host, Mrs. Tatenda, to come and continue with the proceedings of today.
Good day, everyone. My name is Tatenda Prudence Mshaikwa, and I just recently finished my law degree at Unisa, and I'm awaiting my graduation, of course, virtual because Corona. And I'm currently working towards studying my master's degree in international human rights, litigation, and advocacy. So today, as Tabang already mentioned, I will be your host, and I will be hosting 3 amazing and gorgeous women. So just before we came on, I was having a chat with our panelists, and I told them I'm studying my master's. And they were like, that is so cool. And I told them that, no, you guys are way cooler than I am, because just listening and hearing their stories, I was just in awe of things that have been able to achieve and the milestones they have come from. And so that I just do not spoil it for you, no spoiler alerts. I do not want to be the host that spoils everything. I will then be introducing our first panelist for the day. Such an amazing woman she is, an industrious woman, diligent, hardworking, synonymous with breaking boundaries, with breaking social stances, and it is none other than Tato, Miss Tato Mawunda. Ms. Tato Mawunda is a law student and co-founder of Tobacco Project, an entrepreneur, a resilient woman, and young and very inspirational. So we'll be having Tato as our first panelist for the day. Admin to please let in Miss Tato in the broadcast.
Hi.
Hi, Tato. Good to see you. I thought you had put a
How are
number on
you?
me for some minutes there. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Yo,
I'm
that
good.
introduction was that introduction though.
No, man, I was no. It is suiting. It is suiting, and people will realize that I was not overselling you at all. So,
hmm
just let's get straight into it. So, our first question for you today is, may you share on us how you became the story on how you became an entrepreneur, what inspired you, what led you to it. I mean, entrepreneurship these days is just the TV says be an entrepreneur everywhere. Everyone is being encouraged to be an entrepreneur. What is your personal story and how you became an entrepreneur?
Okay. Well, I don't wake up one day and decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? I
Yes.
guess it was just second nature to me because I grew up in a family where everyone just owned a business. My grandfather had a taxi business. My grandmother had a funeral parlor. My dad had a medical business, and I grew up around entrepreneurs. And ever since I was very young, I used to do things within the companies. I'd code, I'd do all of those things. So it was second nature. Um, so yeah,
Okay, so you pretty much were born with it in your DNA. Yes.
basically.
So that is really, I must say, I must commend you that you actually took it up and you cultivated it. So many times we're exposed to such people, but we never see the relevance of it and we never do anything about it. So hats off for you actually taking it and cultivating it. So we also want to know that you have a project and that you've started up. So, and it is called Tabeka Project. So we would want you to tell
Okay.
us about the birth of Tabeka Project and also on getting your first client. So the birth of the project as well as on getting your actual first client.
Okay. So as I said, ever since I was young, I was learning how to do things within a business, right? And
Yes.
a friend of mine was like, Tato, you're literally sitting with all of this knowledge, but you're not doing anything about it. So why don't you start your own company? Because you know the medical business, your father taught you the medical business, so you might as well just start the company. So he pushed me towards starting Tabeka Project, and I did that. So basically, my first client was all the way in KwaZulu Natal, Greytown Hospital, and they had advertised, and I quoted for that. I guess I was the most reasonable quote quota, and yeah, I got the job. So that's how I got my first client.
That's great. So I just then got that we need friends, good friends, very important for entrepreneurship that push you.
Yes, they
Um,
they say that show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So yeah, who you surround yourself with will determine who you become in life.
Definitely. So just then people keep hearing Tobacco Project. So will you please just give us a brief explanation on what it is about exactly?
Okay, so Tabeka Projects is basically a company that supplies medical products,
Okay.
disposable medical products. So your gloves, your bandages, your gauzes, injections. Um, some of the things that we also do is stationery. So we basically deliver stationery to Section 27 schools, which are government schools,
Okay.
and cleaning material, because cleaning material goes hand in hand with medical. So your
Okay.
sanitizers and all of those things.
Okay, so as the things that are there any of the products that you manufacture or everything is outsourced?
No, everything is outsourced. I
Okay.
hope I'm gonna get to a point in my life where I manufacture my own medical products. That's the
I
dream.
am
That is the
yes,
dream.
yes, and I am pretty sure you, if anyone could achieve it, it's you. So just hearing all of this, I mean, getting pushed, regardless of coming from, a family that is world that has a vast knowledge of entrepreneurship, there ought to have been challenges along the way. What are some of the challenges that you have met in starting up your project and your company?
Okay. So basically, I think with any company, you start on a negative. Your balance is always negative. You're pretty much taking your own money,
Mhm.
right? You can go on a negative bank balance for 2, 3 years. Um, and another thing is the fact that I'm female and I'm very young. Because when I started my company, I was 19 years old, and people don't really take you seriously, and you're in a male-dominated industry. So when I walked into hospitals and all of those things, and I would go to procurement offices, people would literally look at me like, okay, right? So I was basically not taken seriously. Those are some of the challenges that we meet.
Yeah, definitely. I can imagine a 19-year-old walking in and say, I want to supply. But well done for just, persevering through it all. So those way, then people have seen you and now they know you, and then they actually trust you that despite being young, you can actually deliver. But now, what are the challenges that you are currently facing? Are there still any, or it is like all systems go now?
It's not all systems go. I still
Yes.
face the same challenges. I still do.
Okay.
I don't think it's something that's going to change overnight. Um,
Yes.
reality is that, well, probably they know me at 1, 2, 3 hospitals, but when I go to new hospitals, I'll face the same challenge.
Definitely.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. So
basically I'm in a position right now where I'm facing the same challenge. Probably because I'm young, probably because I'm female, probably because I'm black. I don't know which one it is,
it
but
is
I'm in a tug and war right now, with a very big company. So hopefully I will come out the other side victorious. So yeah.
definitely we all hoping that you do. Do you think just like this just like a question? Do you think that those challenges have derailed you in if you didn't have to fight all those battles? Do you think that you would definitely be where you'd want to be, or you'd be in a better state or better stage? Do you think fighting this battle of being young, being black possibly, and being female has kind of derailed some of the things that you'd have wanted to achieve by now?
Definitely. Um, if I wasn't derailed all the time, I'd probably be very far. And there are times where I've wanted to give up, where I just felt like it wasn't worth it. Might as well just study, get a job, and get on with my life. But luckily, I have people around me that are like, no, you don't start something and then give up. Um, so yeah,
Definitely. I was even about to ask, like, how have you been able to go through such challenges, and then you just really told us all about it. But with the
Mhm.
with the challenges that you've been facing, do you think the university can help entrepreneurs like yourself? Do you think Unisa can do more to help you when you start up your own businesses?
Yes. I think UNISA could expose female entrepreneurs to more work. I mean, the reality is that we're in a university that has a procurement. And if
Okay.
they were to put an effort and say, okay, we have a procurement, this is how much work we have, and a certain amount of this work should probably go to the students that we have at our university. because you're exposing them. You're giving them exposure. You're giving them uh basically we can I forgot the word now. So yeah, but UNISA could expose us to more work.
Yes, so the university definitely could do much. And I hope that in the future we could have a conversation where the university actually does that and exposes more female entrepreneurs to much more work. So before I let you go,
Okay.
I just wanted to hear from you. What do you think should be done by us, the students, to encourage more female students to get into entrepreneurship?
Okay. So I have a problem with the word encourage, right? Because
Yes.
I really do. Because it's like saying to a person, when somebody teaches you how to drive, right? They actually need to tell
Yes.
you what to do. This is how you start the car.
Mhm.
This is when you change the gears, you have to step on the clutch first, and so on and so forth, right? They don't just sit there and say, I encourage you to drive. They actually give you
Definitely. Yes.
the tools so that you know how to drive, right? So
Yes. Yes.
um I for one, and because I know how difficult it is, right? I had to learn a lot of
Mhm.
things on my own, right? So
Yes.
if we as entrepreneurs could not encourage other entrepreneurs to go into business, but actually help them. Let's start with the basics. Um,
Yeah.
let's start with the basics. Let us teach you how to register a company. This is what you do.
Definitely.
This is how you go to CIPC. This is how you register your company. Let us teach you how to do your BEE, how to renew your BEE every year. Let us teach you how to open a bank account, right? Let's have workshops where we teach other entrepreneurs, sorry, when you sit with other people, this is how you handle yourself, even in difficult situations, right? I've been in situations whereby I was the only female with white men all over the table. And
Sure.
at first it was shake I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. But I just had to do it. So let us, because we've had those experiences, let us teach you how to handle yourself.
Yeah,
So I
that's
don't
good.
I don't I don't like the word encourage. We don't want to encourage you. We want to teach you.
Exactly.
So use us, because
Yeah.
we here, we're students, we have the experience, we have the knowledge. Use us. Let's have workshops. Let's teach them how to be entrepreneurs. Let's pass down our knowledge. Let us mentor you, not encourage.
Definitely. And I do concur
Mhm.
with you there. I mean, I might like for one have heard in the word entrepreneurship being used, like as I said when I mentioned earlier that it's so much. And the thing with entrepreneurship, it's not like I want to become a chef. So definitely, you know you're gonna cook and stuff like that. With entrepreneurship, there's a lot of
Exactly.
things that you're talking about. Sorry?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. So it's like people want to be entrepreneurs and they don't know exactly where to start. People tell you be an entrepreneur, be your own boss and everything like that. But it's a whole lot of things that go behind it. So I really concur with what you said. I said I was gonna let you go. I'm after this
Yes.
question, but I just wanted to we've been speaking of challenges, man, and you're getting your first client, but I just want you to tell us the highlights because now we don't want everyone to be thinking, oh, it's just challenges and fighting. What has been the highlights? What has actually been what has bore fruit in this whole journey that you want to celebrate, or you just want are thankful for the highlights of this journey thus far?
The highlights is always money in.
Yeah.
That's always the highlight. Because you do a job, you deliver your products on time, and you get paid. That's always a highlight. Okay.
Highlight, yeah.
And I think also business teaches you how to be strong. It teaches you how to be confident. When I was younger, I was such an introvert, but
Okay.
I'm such a firm young woman now. Mm, I'm very courageous. Like nothing shakes me, nothing scares me.
Yeah.
Um, so you definitely come out stronger on the other side.
Okay.
But I must say, being your own boss is not the easiest thing. You have to also have a lot of emotional stability. But yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
it's amazing. So if you want to do it, try it. Try it.
Definitely. Well, Tato, thank you. This is not the last time we're going to hear from you. So, throughout as I speak to our panelists, if anyone has a question that they want to ask, just write it down. Just put it at the back of your mind. We're going to have a round table at the end where everyone can just ask our panelists. Tato, it was amazing to hear from you. Thank you so much for those strong affirmations. And we continue, we are behind you as UNISA students, as females, as individuals, as everyone that's just listening to you. Your story is inspiring, and I hope you continue to soldier on and weather through the storms. So thank you, and we'll call you back
Thank,
on our
thank.
roundtable.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tatinda. Bye.
You are so much welcome. And that was Tato, the amazing, gorgeous Tato. I told you that I'm not overselling her. She is definitely a dynamite. Next up, as we go on, we have the gorgeous and beautiful Caroline Matenji. Now, Caroline is a very amazing person. She's so bubbly. I recently met her, but like I'm just so fond of her already. And Caroline, just a bit of some bio on her. She's actually has a BSc in biomedical science. She holds a diploma in business, and she's the founder of Licona Medilabs and winner of the 2020 Unisa Innovation Challenge. And she's also the owner of the Pedology Agriculture Smart Center. But before I go on, did I pronounce it right, Caroline? Is it pedology? What is actually the pronunciation? I'm having a bit of connection problem with you, Caroline. There's a sound back there. Sorry. I'm having a bit of connection problems with Caroline. I hope that we can fix it. So, as we wait for Caroline. Hi, how are you? Oh, okay, so I'm having a bit of connection problem with you. So let me move on to Kamogeleng as we fix this technical problem. Is that fine? Okay. Okay, so do not worry, she's going to come back, definitely. So up next we have Nkamogeleng Matloga, and she's such an amazing woman. I know I keep on saying amazing, and you guys think, no, she's supposed to say that. No, it is actually true. Such a beautiful woman. She is bright smiles, you can see it already. And so Nkamogeleng, welcome. Welcome. And so just a bit of bio about Kamogeleng. Kamogeleng is a biochemistry and microbiology student. She received second place in the science stream competition, and she's an awardee at the Tshwane Intervarsity Innovation Challenge. I told you I'm not overselling anyone today. Amazing women who have achieved so much. Kamogeleng, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You are very nice.
So are you. Then like your smile is just amazing. It's infectious. So so yes, we're just going to have a conversation. And so on to our first question. So story on how you became an innovator. But before you answer me, so innovator, just briefly explain to someone like me, what exactly is an innovator? Just maybe in 2 sentences on anything.
Yeah, that's a good question because it will lead into how I think I became. You know, when you say somebody became an innovator, I'm just like, I am. But I think
You are.
an innovator an innovator is somebody who finds a need and then in the community and try to fulfill that need. This is why when you say an innovator, I have to think, oh yeah, I am.
I am.
Because it's very normal for somebody to know what's wrong with their surrounding, what they need, and what their community needs. And what makes an innovator is somebody who comes up with a solution for that need, which a lot of people do come up with those solutions. It's just seeing it through and pushing for that solution to actually happen. That now we're saying, oh, this person is actually making it happen, and I actually needed this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I must say, before you tell us one story, I was on social media the one day, and I kept on seeing people calling out like there's a need for this and there's a need for that. And in my mind, I just started thinking that I think we're a generation that just calls out problems. Like there's a problem here and there, but we're not doing much to be to be part of the solution. We're just so usually used to just, oh, there's a problem, oh, there's a problem. So to actually see people who identify problems and then bring a solution, and as you said, see it through, as quite inspiring. And I think it needs to be the norm, not just calling out problems, but being part of the solution. So I am in awe. As I said, I'm really in awe of what you've achieved. So yes, before I become a spoiler, so please will you share with us on the story on how you became an innovator?
Yeah, okay. So I've always I think growing up and experiencing things, you learn as you grow. You learn to question things. So in 2019, I saw a call for researchers for an abstract, and I was like, oh, let me write a paper on why have we normalized headaches, and why isn't there a cure? And I did my research and I wrote it, and when the conference started, we were mixed with innovators, and during the awards, it was great because I got to experience what people are doing out there, and I thought my focus was not to get a cure and go, okay, guys, I've brought this. My focus was that somebody come up with something, because this is not normal. Headaches are not normal. We can't be having this every day. And during the innovation round, all the awardees, there were like 10 innovators, and all of them were guys. And I think somebody was speaking in front and was like, why isn't there a woman here? And I was like, yeah, why isn't there a woman in the innovators group? And I was like, I have to start pushing for those ideas and needs that I want met, come up with solution and actually add to the community. Because actually adding to the community does not depend on gender. It doesn't depend on like if you're a man or a woman. I'm pretty sure that there's women who are doing great things out there. They're just not standing up and saying that I need help, or I can compete for this and make a change. So the next year I was like, I'm looking out for those innovators things, and I'm also going to make a change. And I think that helped me to like be aware of the needs that are around, and just come up with how can we solve this. And I found a need that actually people are crying a lot about, that I thought maybe I could try, and that's what got me to InterVarsity, and that opened up a lot of doors.
Okay, so we would definitely want to hear about it, and my next question will do that. So how did you win the Tshwane InterVarsity Innovation Challenge? What was the innovation that you actually brought, and how did you win it?
So Tshwane had 4 categories. You had to find something, a need in these 4 categories, and solve it. And it was transport, waste, and energy. I forgot the fourth one. But anyway, you get the point. It was
Yes, I
four
do.
categories that that Tani found and wanted people to focus on these things. And I was like, what's affecting me more is traffic. I worked in
Yeah.
Centurion and I stay in Pretoria North. You have to pass town, and it was like you have to, if you're late, just leave 3 hours to just get to work, which
That's
normally should
hectic.
take you like
Yeah.
40 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah. So I was like, how do we solve traffic? Like I don't have money to build another kind of how train or or something that will just move me fast from home to work. And I'm like, and people are increasing in the city. And when we dream of the future, we don't dream of like overcrowded, super traffic, the congestion that's happening in town. And I was like, maybe we should move the cars out of town, and start like walking, running. And then I'm like, people don't want to walk from the other side of town to. And then I was like, maybe I would introduce a bicycle that links all the public transports. I know that people park their cars in Pretoria North and take the bus into town. So there's a need for connection between transport and workplace to avoid traffic. And then I was like, if I introduce a bicycle rental service in town with an app that you can plan your journey with and see where to get public transport, then maybe public transport would be, people would trust it more because they would know what's available. And also the bicycles would link those transport. So I had an idea and I sold it to the judges. I was like, I don't know if this is innovative. I don't know if this is like it's gonna happen, but I think this would solve, like in my mind when I imagine it, this would solve a problem. The congestion problem. Like imagine everybody riding bicycles in town and there is no taxi, there's no car. If you imagine the Pretoria town like that, you can imagine the fresh air. You can imagine the community that would come from there. So I sold that idea. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's how I won.
Yes, it is definitely a great idea. It would do wonders for the air, as you said, and for the environment. So just like what you were talking about, what I picked up personally is like, I think we always think of innovation as having to come up with something that has never been seen in the world. We overthink it, and we're thinking of flying mushroom saucers or something like that. But it's just things like what you saw. Like, what am I struggling with? What is
Yeah.
the plight that people have? Normal. It's not rocket science. Something I think I should also just, because I always think you have to come up with the most, I don't know, out of this, like, I don't know, like something that has never been done, but it's like innovating from things that surround you, which you did definitely. And well done, and congratulations, though it has passed, on just winning that award. And such an amazing idea. So you've
Thank you.
won this challenge, and you've won, and just also standing up for women. And so after you've won this challenge, I'm sure there were expectations. I think if it was me, probably I would be there thinking, now it's like all I do is win, win, win. I have my sunglasses on, the future is too bright. Those are my expectations. Everyone is using my idea. What were your expectations actually after winning the innovation challenge?
Actually, I think I didn't expect to win. When I went to the awards, I was like, it's okay. Like I know that people are like great minds there, but and then when they called my name, I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And then after that, I'm like, maybe this is a good idea. Maybe I should
Yeah, do
push all
it.
in. And I did. I got so excited. I looked for cheaper suppliers. Actually, South Africa, when it comes to bicycles, they are so expensive. So imagine trying to buy a bulk of bunch of bicycles and you don't have money. And I was like, I'm not gonna wait for Tanya to bring the money. I have to push. Money will find me there. I realized I need to slow down, and this was a wake up call that was like very harsh. But
Yeah.
I think I started and I got excited, and there was a time when I lost a lot of money and I wanted to stop. I was just like, yeah, maybe this is not me. But the excitement, encouragement of people watching me and encouraging me to go on, that's what pushed me. I think, I think my expectations were really, really high. After that, was like, yeah, this is how it's gonna happen. If I sold the idea, it means it's a good idea. Go on and do it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, in terms of the expectations that you had, how are they being currently met in terms of support? How has been the support been for you?
So I learned to grow quickly in this industry because I think when you win, you are surrounded by, like, Unisa is great. I know that there's a lot to improve, but there's also so much that they've provided, like classes, workshops, preparing you. Also, the Tshwane and Innovation Hub, they're also amazing. They're like, yeah, we got you. But the truth is, institutions are a little bit slower in getting things done. And if you don't want your idea to die out, you don't want people to forget, you want people to know that when they see bicycle out there, that's Nkamgeleng right there. You know what I mean? Like, you want people to remember this. So you want to push, but your support is like not pulling. So you have to make sure that what you need, you go get it. You speak to people, find out what's going on, and not wait for the program to start or wait for the money to get in or anything. You have to like push for what you want. Know what you want, do your research. So I guess that helped me grow really, really fast, and just so that I survive.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so that you having the support. So now I want to hear from you. How is the development of your solutions going? How is it going? You can scale it if you want on a scale of 1 to 10, and just tell us on how it is going, the development of your solutions.
I'm gonna be very generous and say 10 because it's me.
Do not play it down. Give yourself a confident 10. That is it.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think along the way I made really big mistakes that set me off a little bit. And sometimes you plan something and it doesn't come out the way you want it to come out. And then you just have to fix what you've planned, come up with a new plan. And so I can say that the piloting plan is a little bit pushed back. Now what I'm trying to do is raise as much money as I can to be able to push for the piloting. So I ordered a lot of bicycles,
Yes.
and I got broke. I got into debt, and there was just a lot. And then I decided that I need to sell these bicycles as much as I can, printed with my logo so that people can start knowing about this business. And that way I can get some money back so that I replan and just go back. So yeah, if there's anyone listening and wants a bicycle,
Chacha,
yeah.
can you hook you up? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, hook you up. But as I think we all know that there are always going to be challenges, and we learn from them. So now, do you have a prototype Do you have a prototype? Is there an app in place? Have you tested it out? And how is that going?
So initially I knew that the money I got was not enough for everything that I needed to do. So I had to learn myself to start coding. And I started building the app myself. So it's still in testing, not yet out. And also I need to incorporate the locking mechanism into the app so that it's easy to use by customers. I do have a lot of bicycles that even if I sell like half, I still have enough. I went all out.
You did go big or go home.
So I have bicycles already sorted for the piloting. And so I'm just working on the app now and the gadgets to keep the bicycles safe before I take them out there.
Okay. So now what I want to ask you, when I spoke to Tatu, she's like, I don't like the word encouragement. And I definitely agree with her. But so what would you say to female students at Unisa that have an idea, but they have absolutely no idea where to start?
Yeah, I think for me, because I also didn't know how to start, every step that I went just opened up more doors. I think there's so many opportunities. If you just Google innovation, call for innovation or innovation hubs in South Africa, or even like if you're at Unisa has a whole department of research and innovation. So do your research, look who's out there who can help. I think you don't need to like figure out everything before you start. You don't even have to find somebody to tell you what to do. You just have to do your research. Google, call somebody, find contacts and ask. And I totally agree with what Tato said, that when you've learned something, it's the best way to like instill it in yourself is to teach somebody. Get it out there, and I think that is the best way. So we are here, and already in a very short time I've learned so much, and I do have stuff I could share as well. And I'm very open to sharing. So I completely agree with her. But I also think that encouragement is built by inspiration from the outside. When we say that person has courage, it's because they looked on the outside and they were inspired by the environment to do something about it, to push. So I think that encouragement is important. People watching and seeing that these ladies came up with different ideas and they're pushing for them can instill that desire that, oh my word, in my environment or in my community, there's a need for this. And I've been thinking about it. Maybe I should push it, which is the start. Everybody needs that, start.
Yeah, definitely. So to everyone listening, you can use Google for more than just Googling how to get a six-pack in 10 days. So I've tried, you cannot get it in 10 days.
Me too.
Yes. But just before I let you go, we hear the Tshwane InterVarsity Innovation Challenge. I must say, I was so much like my nose was always in my books when I was at Unisa. Like I was not part of someone who always looked out for anything other than my books, my academics. And now that I hear all of those things, that I'm done now with my studies, I was thinking to myself last night, like, oh wow, I could have just, looked out for such things, not maybe participate or anything, but attend workshops. So what exactly can you, just before I let you go, if anyone is listening and is interested, like what exactly is Tshwane InterVarsity? Is anyone eligible? And yes.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I also started like my books. I'm there to learn and then I'm done. But I guess we there has to be people who are starting to create those jobs so that in the future people do have jobs. So Unisa has a notice board where they post all these innovation calls, intervarsity innovation, entrepreneurship, whatnot. Even though it's like it's an external call, they post it, which is nice. So check my Unisa. I feel like I'm a Unisa ambassador. So check my Unisa. Check out Innovation Hub pages. Yeah, I'm sure people are like on the socials. These things are there. Just follow the right
Yeah.
organizations, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was definitely great to hear from you. Just even just how you gave it to us so raw. You did not sugarcoat anything. Some of the decisions that you did that were not necessarily good, and how you're just coming out of it, just finding a way around it. Even as you have your innovation and you decided on you're still innovating in your own innovation, still finding solutions on how to go. So I am excited to see this and to just see it become fruitful and all the best. And I haven't rode my bicycle in a while now, so I would want to be there and riding my bicycle in the city of Pretoria. So I look forward to it. And all the best from me and from everyone who's listening. We are all the way behind you. So yes, I will then call you back for the round table.
Cool. Thank you so much, Tatinda.
You're welcome, Kamogeleng. So that was Kamogeleng, and I am pretty sure everyone is inspired as I am, and I am just so amazed. I think we all have this image in our heads that when someone starts achieving things, they do not make mistakes along the way. So the moment that you start making mistakes, you suddenly want to quit and think that it doesn't happen like that. But just hearing Kamogeleng speak is really inspiring, that you can make mistakes but still come out of it. And I'm just so really inspired by what she's been able to achieve and overcome. And just she's so humble. She was there like, I'm there at the awards because, I submitted something. Just such humility, man. And then she gets to win it. And I guess it really goes a long way, and I'm just really in awe of what you have been able to achieve. And I know this is going to be the next best thing. I know. So yes, and I wish you all the best as you continue. So up next, we have Caroline Matinja. I'm really hoping that by now, the technical stuff has been fixed. And so I am going to call upon Caroline. Yes. Hi, I'm still having problems with connection. I don't know, there's a sound that's coming on. Can you hear me? Yes. Not really. No. I don't know, there's this sound that comes coming. I don't know. Okay, it's gone now. Yes. Yes. Okay, no, I'm so excited. I'm so happy that it got fixed. Caroline, welcome back. Yes, and I had read your bio. I'm gonna read it again. Uh, no, I'm not. Maybe I need to remind them. I'm not gonna. So Caroline holds a BSc in biomedical science and holds a diploma in business, and the founder of Likona Med Labs and winner of the 2020 Unisa Innovation Challenge. She's also the owner of the Pedology Agricultural Smart Center. So before I lost you, I'd asked if I'd pronounced it well.
Yes, you did.
Oh, thank
Yes.
God. uh, uh, Caroline, it's so great to have you back.
Great.
Yes, I was just so like before you got cut off that like how just like you still have that energy that's just infectious. Yes. So we are going to get into our questions now. And so I see I've been speaking to Tato, and she's an entrepreneur. And I spoke to Nkamokheleng, and she's an innovator. Okay, so it seems as though I have lost Caroline again. I think because we're just having some technical problems, and I'm hoping that our admin, Mr. Tabang Mufokeng, is currently just fixing it. So I was not prepared to have a moment alone with everyone. Just yeah. So now I think if anyone has questions, in the meantime, we can just write them, but just so far as we have come and just listening to everyone, I think I keep on saying I've been inspired, and I've been inspired and really have. I think I'm someone who really does not think outside the box. I'm good with academics. I'm just good with, explaining stuff that I read in my books. So just to really seeing people that have been able to come up with solutions and have been able to come up with just great and amazing ideas like this is so inspiring. Not just any people, just women as well, young women. And, Tato is even younger than I am. And, it goes on to show that there is no precise age. You do not need to be a certain age. It's if you believe in yourself and you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to go on strong, and I think you will be able to achieve anything that you can. I don't know if this is possible in the meantime as we wait for Caroline for admin to bring in Tato or Nkamokheleng or both of them so that we can just engage in the meantime as we wait for Caroline. If it is possible, admin, could you please do that for us? But I think just one thing, interesting thing that I've seen with those ladies as of doing them. I mean, Tato is a law student, and I'm a law graduate, about to graduate, and she's doing law. That's her academic side, and but her business has nothing to do. Of course, there's always going to be legal frameworks there. I see that Caroline is back.
Guys, this time it was like literally not my fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we blame it all on admin.
How does that work though?
No, but still, we're happy to have you back. Okay. So we just want you to share with us on the story on how you became an innovator and an entrepreneur.
Okay, that's very interesting. Hey, it's very interesting. Okay, I'm from Bumalanga, right? It's a land full of farms. Everywhere you go, I'm from a small town in Lydenburg, and everywhere you go, literally everybody's farming. Like you literally
Mm-hmm.
find your formal and informal farmers. And one thing I realize is that the products that they produce were different. And it was very interesting because, as much as our informal farmers are trying to penetrate the market in terms of supplying to big supermarkets like your Checkers, Pick and Pays, and so forth, right? And I realized it's a very slow growing industry. And I was very triggered to see why is it so hard for people to penetrate that market. And as I started asking questions, like locally asking questions and so forth, people gave me their reasons behind why they couldn't, and certain obstacles they had to go through. And I realized it all lands to the soil. Like the soil was the biggest problems because most of
Mm-hmm.
them used old methods of predictions and taking care of their plants or veggies or so forth. And that kind of played a huge role in why they couldn't penetrate the market. And that's when I realized pedology. Pedology is the study of soil, and why not
Okay.
get a device that does that for us? You know,
Okay.
why doesn't it make why can't I bring something that's gonna help not only the farmer but also the business process of it, and how people can improve from being informal to formal and actually penetrating the whole market. So
Okay.
podcasting.
Okay. So that really is sounds really amazing, and just really how you're able to not just see a problem, but do something to be part of the solution. So before I move on to my next question, I just want to hear exactly how does the device work?
So I'm gonna make a demonstration with a pen, right?
Okay, please.
So, guys, this is like, yeah. So the device is, it's like a whole huge pin where you plug it into the soil, right? And then there's three different sensors on it, and each sensor is placed according to its functions so that it can give you the best optimal results. And on
Mhm.
top, it's designed with a flat screen where you plug it, it's easy to step over it and not break it and so forth, 'cause it's going to be plugged in the soil, right? So all these sensors in one device are going to do the search and sense and get the readings for the farmer, and then give the farmer the results on top. That way it will give the farmer the best way to know, let's say, if my plants need more water, more fertilizer, or the sun is not enough, or this needs it's needed, or
Sure.
this is. So it's sort of forecasting for the farmer, giving the farmer an idea how things could go and could not go and so forth. Because the old methods are literally depending on rainy seasons, the sun,
Mhm.
or the soil has been like this for the longest time and so forth. But those are
Mhm.
not reliable either. So
Mm,
you
that's
can't
true.
be too sure. Hence, the products also are not as market standard. So that kind of
Mhm.
gives the farmer an idea of how things should proceed from one stage to another without depending on seasonals.
Okay, that's really good. I'm just thinking to myself that you're right. So many farmers, especially black farmers, who really struggle, as you say, to penetrate because they do not know, and I think because of climate change and everything, whatnot, the knowledge that they had, to rely, maybe if the sun is like this and everything is like this, does not necessarily work anymore because, climate change, it's changing. So I think that is very effective. So just well done for that.
Thank you.
And so in your bio, there is you won the innovation challenge, the Unisa Innovate. How did you win the innovation challenge? How many participants were there?
We were like 10. No, initially we were like 17 or 20 along those lines. And there was like four groups within the whole 20 of us. And yeah, we were like a few. We were like a few. And to be honest, the 2020 challenge was not my first challenge actually. In 2018, I did apply and I didn't make it, you know, and because I got the taste of how things are done, and it gave me that push to try again. And I did. I applied again. 2020, I was prepared. Regardless of the pandemic, regardless of what was happening in the world, I stood my ground. I was like, this time I'm making it. I am
Mm,
definitely making it. And one thing that played a huge role was the research. Like I said, I asked. You ask
mm,
random people, not only people who are already in the market or people who already know certain things or people who are already in a certain field. You ask random people because random people will give you the best honest answer. Unlike somebody who say, nah, it depends on this from my experience and so forth. because your experience and my experience could be two different things.
Mm.
So the research played a huge role, and for the fact that the university was also providing us with some workshops, guidance, that like played a huge role, because some of the things you put yourself in it and you don't know which direction to take after that. So they were like the mother of the whole process, guiding us through what to do, how to approach people. If things are falling apart, what mechanism are you going to use to bring yourself back, and so forth. So it played a huge role, and I guess it played a very yeah, it played a huge role, and that's how I got where I am. I put my input, the university put it its input, and together a mixture came out, and here I am today.
So just to understand, when you applied the first time, was it the same idea that that you pushed in 2020?
No, it's not the same idea. It's not the
Okay.
same idea.
It's- but I'm just like, people are usually discouraged when they put themselves out there. I mean, an idea is really just putting yourself out there. And if someone just then goes like, no, you just start doubting yourself.
Okay.
But like, you were just there.
I was just there. One thing about me is that I like fiddling around with stuff. The first idea
Okay.
was not what I presented the second time, but I realized some of the ideas that we come up, um, are they realistic enough, to
Yes.
push you?
Exactly.
Are you being honest with yourself also? Hence I'm saying the whole process kind of changed my ways of doing things. Also start researching and asking questions, and you know having that moment of reflection. Is this doable? Is it feasible? Does it make sense to the next person? And one thing I realized is, from my first application to the second, the whole the whole idea started changing, because I got the taste of how things are literally done. And hence, I got back to the drawing board. I was like, okay, this couldn't work. Chances are this will work. You take your chances. Take your chances. There's always plan A or B. If B doesn't work, move on to C. If C doesn't work, move on to. Never give up, because if you do have a vision and you see yourself somewhere, keep pushing, but pushing all different ways, angles, and so forth. Because I always told myself, I don't want to work forever. I want to be my
Yeah.
own boss.
Boss.
And to do that, I had to come up with great ideas, crazy ones, and sensible ones.
Yeah, I'm so glad you actually answered it. I was about to ask you, what is a good idea? Because I think we're all full of ideas, and you really just answered it when you said, is it sensible? Is it realistic? Is it feasible? Does it make sense to the next person? So I think it's not just about having ideas.
It's
Yeah.
not only about the idea. Like I said, asking random people who don't
Mm.
even know what you're talking about, because they will give you the best, or the honest opinion. And that's when you start realizing, is my idea a good one or a crazy one? Because an
Crazy.
idea is an idea until the next person goes like, I see where you're going. Because if your idea can relate to the next person, it means you can literally help a whole lot of bunch of people with one idea that you have. So there's no such thing as a good idea until the next person, or until you believe in it, push it through, and you make the next person believe in you to make it a good idea. Because it could be crazy. Einstein started somewhere. We all thought he's crazy, but somehow he went through. So
Yeah, that's true.
it's all about, reflecting, and also asking yourself the same questions over and over, because that's gonna keep you in track, and that's when you come across those ideas.
Yes. Okay. So moving on to our next question, we want to know, what were your expectations after winning the competition?
Oh, I had a lot. I thought it was gonna just flow. I saw myself already in the market. But the honest truth is, I thought the university was gonna, be the mother again with us,
Mm,
be mentoring us through certain things and so forth. But because of challenges and COVID was happening, a lot of things were a bit on a stuck up or on a hold and so forth. So yeah, I think personally I expected the university to be there throughout the process, throughout, you know, the guidelines, opening doors for us and so forth. But I realized that was not gonna happen. So the big girl in me had to stand up.
stop.
And I started knocking doors, sending emails left, right, and center. Yes, certain people turned me down. There were days where I would like, oh my gosh, do I really want to do this? And unexpected sleepless nights. Like I never thought that it would be so much admin just to put one thing together. The idea is there, you know you have planned it all out, but the expectations don't always come out as on paper. Certain things you have to change here, or change your method of doing things and so forth. So I guess yeah, I had high expectations, but I had to bring down my expectations to my abilities also and my resources at that time.
Mm, that's true. And in terms of those expectations, how are they being met in regards to support from the university in particular?
Um, well, the university still supports us here and there. We pop them an email here and there. Ask a few questions, but they haven't really been that much because now they placed us on the spot to prove why we are literally the winners of the 2020 innovation. I felt like how do I put this? They wanted to see the best out of us. Yes.
Mm,
So the
yeah.
support was there, but it was just reduced.
Okay. So maybe they just kind of put you in the deep end and you need to swim. That's how much they trust you guys. They know that even if they leave you in the deep end, you're able to swim out.
Swim out of there.
Yes, definitely. Um, just getting into the product that you have. So, how is the development of your solutions going?
Oh, pretty great actually.
Woo! Yes.
For the few months that I've had in 2021, I feel like things are falling in place, things are progressing, because by the grace of researching and Google, and being a nosy person and being everywhere, I managed to get technology innovation agency on my side. They're like my second type of sponsor in terms of the the building and the resources and so forth. And I got UJ also to back me up as well. They brought the environmental specialists to bring their expertise and I got vets with the professors that side also doing the whole feasibility reports and so forth. So at the moment right now we are literally have all the components to build the prototype, and everything was going smoothly, great. But there were a few challenges here and there, because certain components we couldn't find in South Africa, and certain things had to be delayed because of COVID and so forth. But with planning and being persistent, things ended up, flowing pretty well.
So that's great to hear. So I understand that you're still working towards building a prototype.
Yes, I am.
Yes. But what are the challenges that you've met and like your personal journey, not just with building the prototype, just personally on a personal level?
On a personal note, right? Being a woman for starters is very hard in this country because literally every door you knock, they look at you like Tato said, you're a young girl, a black girl from La La Land. You come here with big ideas. You come here with, and like I said, some people did turn me down, and some people were like, "No, but you see, because you're still a university student, this and that needs you to have, a registered company already, or this." registered with certain committees and so forth and so forth. Like, and also, um, in terms of approaching people, I'm a very bubbly person, and some people won't take you serious. I did get a question at some point where I was literally trying to present my idea to some big people, and they're like, so you studied medicine, but you want to go into agriculture. Like, they start, I wouldn't say undermining, but questioning your intentions, questioning your
Mm,
doing I always tell people, just because I did this, or I'm a student in this, or I'm that and that, it doesn't mean that I am obliged to literally just focus on that other one. So that's one thing that personally kind of like drew me back, that my degree has nothing to do with this. I'm a whole human being besides this. And there's this like so many people who like, but how do you see yourself, pushing this as a person? Like, they start questioning your interpersonality, they start questioning a
mm,
lot of things. And me being the type of person I am kind of confused me, kind of gave me some offsets, because there was times where I had to even call the university and start crying and go like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. This is happening. I'm
shame.
facing this. And like I said, the support was there. They tried, putting things together back to, remember the aim, remember this and that. Because not everything is smoothly as they go. Some people will even, you know, uh, just just literally question you as a person, you know.
Mm,
So yeah, yeah. It's just been one of those, where
okay.
you are forced to open a whole different life.
Okay. So my last question before I let you go. We're currently a bit pressed off by time. What would you say to female students at UNISA that have an idea but do not know where to start?
Always ask a random person and ask yourself. Like, I always start with myself, because if I don't believe in myself, the next person won't. So it starts with you. If you believe this will work and you set your mind to it, do it. Put yourself out there. Look as stupid as you can until the next person makes you, or understands, or you know see your vision. And as for Unisa students, guys, I know Unisa is a long distance institution, but
Mm,
but they always put their info out there. They always let us know this is happening. And for a big university that it is, I feel like as students, it's also our responsibility to interact with them, let them
that's
know
true.
if there are people out there who are interested in certain activities or projects and so forth, because we as the students also don't interact with them, don't read notice boards and so forth. So for UNISA students who have ideas, don't be afraid to knock on somebody's door and ask for advice, or even if it's not what you expect, make use of it. Good feedback or bad feedback, good or bad feedback, always gives you a step forward or backwards. So I believe if you have that idea, ask yourself, ask the next person, and do your research also. Like, um, just just believe in yourself. Literally, it starts there. Believing in yourself before you go to the next person. And I feel like with these universities now, they give us so much that we don't recognize also.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Caroline. That was so inspiring. And just thank you to everyone who was part of our panel today, Tato, Kamakheleng, and Caroline. I think my greatest takeaway from this is really just be in a position where you believe in yourself. You have an idea, run with it. And also just really, despite the hardships, just push through it. and it's gonna take a lot, but I think we also have a lot to give. So that is the end of our panel, and we're supposed to have a roundtable. I apologize to everyone that we went over time. So much we we're just so eager to learn. So if there's anyone in our audience who has a question to any one of our panelists, you can just type it, and then yeah, and it will be answered by to whomever it is directed to. You know, this moment that you just there, you don't, I mean, prepare for it, and you're just there, like, not sure what to say next. Hi, Nkamukela.
Hi.
Guys.
Because you're exposing, you're giving them exposure, you're giving them basically we can
Welcome back, Tato.
Hi.
Hi. So now it's our roundtable moment. We just going to wait if there are any questions, to hear if there are any questions from our viewers that may have and want to direct to any one of you. So yes, and we're going just to leave it up until 11:30, and we can wrap it up.
All right.
Okay. So how has been the experience for you guys, just sharing your stories and being vulnerable in front of people that you're not seeing?
It's well, I honestly hope that my story can help other people that go through what we go through on a daily basis. So this
Yeah,
is us just telling people that you're not alone. Um,
yeah,
if you're going through something tough, just know that there are people like us that have been doing this for years, but we still come across obstacles every single day. So just keep doing your thing, keep moving, keep pushing. Like things will come right at some point.
definitely, definitely. And I think also
Yeah.
just it's really taxing to put in the work. I think so many people give up in the first hurdle. Like it just like I is it really worth it? And I think just hearing you guys speak, it's
And
really
it's
inspiring.
also very emotionally draining because on the other side you're a student. On the other
Mm,
side, you're doing I probably do codes, like probably 20 codes in a week, right? And those things are not like a 1 hour, 2 hour, because you actually have to go look for your prices and d- it's a lot of
mm,
work. And then once you're done on the business side, you now have to go take your textbooks and all of that and start studying. And that's like not the only thing that we have going on in our lives. We've got, okay, I don't
mm.
have a social life anymore. I don't know about Nkamukhele, but I don't have a social life. I don't even have friends.
Wow, no, okay.
I probably see my
We
friends
can
like
be your
once or
friends.
twice a day.
Yes, we can be a friend support group.
Right. I actually think there's something about relating to somebody that makes things normal. Like when you start hearing that, oh, you're not the only one who's actually um, feeling the hardship of this. Like everybody does. So it becomes like, okay, it's the process of it. And then the idea of quitting just goes away now because you're thinking, now I have to push like everybody's pushing. So I think us sharing and the fact that we all coming from different backgrounds, different projects, um, yeah, different stages even. I think people can relate to this, and it can encourage people um, to push for their idea to actually become real. And I think that makes me feel good as well. Because I also do need people to look up to, um, uh, and like hear their stories and get encouraged. And I think I've learned a lot from the ladies as well. So yeah.
Caroline, I just asked the other ladies how this experience has been for you, just sharing your story and being vulnerable. Can she hear me?
It's very, I won't lie. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. It's kind of scary, guys. It's kind of scary because a few weeks ago we were all strangers to each other, and today we could relate to each other and know that it's possible. I'm not the only one going through the struggles, and I can always get support. Like Tato has, been there in the field. She knows how it feels to deal with customers or people interested in so I can always go for guidance from her and and ask, how do you deal with this and so forth. So it's been scary, interesting, and actually fruitful. Yeah.
Definitely
Okay.
fruitful.
Yeah, definitely. I see a question. I do not know if you can see it, Tato. And then it says, what's your advice on someone from Tatenda Chawanda? It says, what's your advice on someone who wants to start a business but with a limited budget?
I really don't have advice on that because I started my company on nothing. I didn't even have a cent. I really
Yeah.
didn't have a cent. Even when I got my first order, right? I had to, because here's the thing: when you go into business, you need to associate yourself with people that you know will help you, right? Because you can't do it on your own. So fortunately, I know a couple of people that were willing to help me. So even when I got my first order, I went to someone and I said, here's my purchase order. This is how much I need to buy my products. And please lend me the money. I'll pay you once the order comes out, once the payment is done. And that's, yeah. But other than that, when I started my business, I probably had like 10 rand in my account. So yeah,
So you don't necessarily need to have the money. You can just
you
always find
don't,
investors in your business and,
yeah, yeah, but associate yourself with people that you know will help you out.
okay, I really hope
Because
that
because
helps.
it's basically like going to a bank and saying,
Mm,
please loan me money because I have 1, 2, 3, right? But it's just that you're doing it with someone, somebody that you can trust, somebody who's willing to help you out, somebody who actually wants to see you progress in life.
okay. Okay. Any ladies have any comment on that? I know the question was for Tato, but just anyone with anything to add on that question, the advice you'd give someone with a limited budget.
Yeah,
Believe
I
in
can.
yourself. Yeah. Because,
Yeah.
um, like she said, have people that you trust and you know they are gonna push you, and also, um, you know, uh, how do even going out there and putting yourself, in front of people, various institutions, because there are so many agencies out there ready to help, but because people don't really do their research and so forth about such, they always feel money. I need to have the money. I need to have the money. The money is not the problem. The problem is we don't want to push the idea first. Because I think if you can push the idea for the next person, you will definitely acquaint yourself with the right people. So
Definitely.
the money is not everything.
We are pressed for time, and I really hope there is an opportunity that people could speak with you guys, reach out to you. Is there any way, just because of time, that we kind of have to wrap things up? And I see no more questions coming through. So I think we can adjourn. It has been lovely to have you ladies here. Spending this morning with you has been insightful and has been informative, and I'm so thankful for that. But before I let you go, I'll just want to invite our Domin back. Tabang, can you please come back and close off for us? Second call for admin. Tabang.
He sent a message. We can close after the ladies' comments.
Thank you, everyone. Okay,
Hello?
I see him is entering the.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. We've been waiting for you, Tabang.
No, sorry about that. We've been having some technical difficulties, but thank you to everyone at home also and to our panelists. I think we are way over our time, and I think Tatenda can maybe close the session for us. But thank you a lot to the ladies. I hope someone who is watching at home is very inspired by what they were able to get from all of you guys. Because I know personally that you guys truly inspire me, and you make me want to do more with whatever I'm doing. So keep up the great work, and we'll definitely continue with such events and possibly establish some sort of way in which we can support and help each other going forward. But yes, thank you for your time and thank you for being present. Tatenda, you can close it off for us. That will be all for me.
So yes, so thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Thank you, Tato. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Kamukeleng. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing your journeys with us. Thank you to everyone who took their time to just tune in and watch. We hope, as we already said to you ladies on our panel, that you'll be able to keep on going further, to continue conquering the milestones, and just stand up for the girls that are upcoming. They want figures to look up to, and I definitely see you as role models in your different communities. So thank you for tuning in with us today. I am Tatenda. I hope I was the host with the most. So I wish you all ladies a good day, and to everyone who's watching, I hope you all have a great weekend and you enjoy the Freedom Day that's coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.